Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to the Daily Telegraph, Manchester United have made enquiries for Southampton striker Danny Ings. Man United are looking at Danny Ings as a target during the summer transfer window. And we're seeing him as an alternative to Harry Kane. Danny Ings has just over 1 year left on his current contract at Southampton. Southampton got Danny Ings from Liverpool. They got him for around £18 million. There was a further £2 million based on appearances. At one point, Southampton had him on loan, but then obviously they got him permanently. At Liverpool, I think he had some bad injuries. Before Liverpool, he played for Burnley. He also had a loan spell with Dorchester. And before then, he was at Bournemouth. Danny Ings is 28 years of age, so he's highly experienced. Would you take him at Manchester United? I probably would, because Danny Ings is well proven in the Premier League. He's good at creating chances and he can score very good goals. Solskjaer has refused to rule out Man United signing a striker. Now, who will Harry Kane's next club be? Harry Kane's come out and said that he will decide his future, not Daniel Levy. Football Insider have said that Man United are prepared to offer Anthony Martial and Jesse Lingard as part of a swap deal for Harry Kane. Ryan Mason, he recently dismissed suggestions that Harry Kane asked to leave Tottenham. Harry Kane is set to be offered $80 million in wages. He said the other day that Harry Kane handed in a transfer request at Tottenham. He's told Tottenham that he wants to leave. Tottenham are demanding £150 million. Man United, Man City and Chelsea have all been in contact with Harry Kane's representatives. Earlier on this season, Harry Kane came out and said that he wants to win team trophies. Tottenham have not won a trophy for 13 years. The other week, it said that Harry Kane was ready to ask Tottenham to listen to transfer offers for him this summer. And it says the Glazers were planning to sanction a £90 million bid. But I always said, £90 million was not going to be enough to convince Tottenham to offload him. Kane does want to stay in the Premier League. But I would take him at Manchester United. The reasons is because Kane is a prolific goal scorer. He's well proven in the Premier League. He's very good as well at creating chances. And he's regarded as one of the best strikers in the world. So they are the reasons. Harry Kane has been a long-serving player at Tottenham. He's endured 17 years with them. He's been in their senior squad since 2009. He's got a contract with Tottenham until 2024. He's won the Golden Boot a couple of times, reflecting on his good performances. I think it's between him and Mohamed Salah for this season's Golden Boot. He's had loan spells before with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. A lot of people believe that there's a good chance that Kane will come to Man United. You know, we've done business with Tottenham before. You know, we got Dimitar Berbatov off them a lot of years ago. And we also got Michael Carrick off them a long time ago. But I think there's a chance that Kane could go to Man City. But yeah, we still want a striker, despite Edinson Cavani signing a one-year deal not so long ago. I'm glad Cavani's staying for next season because he has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. Recently scored a goal from 40 yards out. That was against Fulham. Now, I want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So it says that Chelsea are planning an £80 million bid for Sancho. So obviously we've suffered a Jadon Sancho setback. It recently said that we was preparing a bid in the region of 65 million to 75 million for Sancho. I think Dortmund are demanding around £85 million. Jadon Sancho's representatives are more confident than ever that Sancho will join Man United this summer. And it actually said that Man United are the favourites to sign him. And it said we could use Jesse Lingard to buy Sancho. But the Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund this summer. And Dortmund confirmed earlier on this season that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho over a possible transfer. Borussia Dortmund admitted that they'll sell him for the right price this summer, and Dortmund's CEO did reveal that the club will discuss exceptional offers for the winner. If we sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window, I think that will be good business by Man United because Sancho is a good player. I think he would exceed expectations in the Premier League. He'd assure his goals and he's good at creating chances, and plus he's predominantly a right winner and he's got a very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. You know, they talk to each other a lot. Don't forget, last summer he was our number one priority target. I thought we was going to get him last summer because Sancho to Man United was extremely close because it said the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed and a contract had been agreed. The reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Obviously, Raphael Varan, he's another player on our agenda. Now, Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he came out yesterday and said that Raphael Varan is the main name on Man United's list. I'm waiting to see what happens with Varan's situation at Real Madrid. Recently, Real Madrid rejected a £40 million bid. Because it says we was preparing a £40 million bid. Real Madrid have said they want £60 million. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that we was holding exploratory talks with Raphael Varan as he considers his future at Real Madrid. Liverpool recently held talks. Earlier on this season, it said that Chelsea were the favourites to sign him. It says Chelsea were prepared to pay around £61 million. It said as well earlier on this season that Real Madrid were closing in on the signing of David Alaba. So reflecting on that, said we'd been handed a boost in our pursuit of Varan. We was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018, and we was in for him 10 years ago. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled earlier on this season. There's no signs of him whatsoever of signing a contract extension. Varan's current contract expires next year. The reasons I take him at Manchester United is because he's a world-class centre-half. He'd go very well alongside Maguire in our back line. They complement each other. He's highly experienced, and he would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and plus he's got a very good pedigree as a player. He's won like 18 major honours, at Real Madrid. He's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's endured 10 years with them. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Madrid paid just €10 million, was it, for him from Lens back in 2011. But there's been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda. We still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract not so long ago. Solskjaer's already said that he wants 3 world-class signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I've already identified the areas in the squad where we need to strengthen up. It's not long now until the summer transfer window opens. The summer transfer window will be Ole's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very, very imperative that Solskjaer gets the backing he deserves and he gets the players that he wants to recommend in. He should get the backing he deserves, Solskjaer, because we've got John Murtaugh, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director, and we've also got Matt Judge. We're going to offload quite a few players in the summer transfer window, so in that aspect we'll generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. It recently said the 10 players that could leave Man United in the summer transfer window. De Gea, he could leave. I'm expecting Romero to go. I'm expecting Lee Grant to go. I want Phil Jones to go, whether he does or not I do not know. Diego Dalot, we're looking to get rid of him permanently. Brandon Williams, I think we need to offload him. So obviously he gets more opportunities and he gains more experience because he's our 3rd choice left back. Andres Pereira, I think we're looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan at the moment with Lazio. Nemanja Matic, I think there's a good chance we'll offload him because he isn't one of our 1st choice midfielders. Paul Pogba, he could still leave Man United in the summer transfer window, but I hope he doesn't because we've been getting the best out of him in recent months and he brings creativity to the team. He's recently said that Pogba could leave for just $55 million in the summer transfer window. Pogba's current contract expires next year because earlier on this season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. It said earlier on this season though that we are prepared to offer Pogba a new £400,000 a week contract, but it said, Pogba was demanding £500,000 a week and his agent Mino Raiola is demanding in the excess of £400,000 a week for his client to stay at Man United. Juan Mata, there's a chance that we'll offload him in the summer transfer window. But there again, Solskjaer recently said that no decision has been made on Juan Mata's future yet. And a lot of United fans are saying that we need to offload Anthony Martial. Martial's obviously out with an injury at the moment. He's been out for a while. I think he's been back in training though recently. Ole's hopeful that he will be back for the Europa League final. But Martial has been out of form for the vast majority of this season. There's a lot of players though that will stay at Man United in the summer transfer window, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. You obviously know the news regarding the Glazers. They are going to attend something on the 4th of June. Fans Forum, I think it is. Solskjaer recently said that the fans' protests have affected the players. Obviously, we've been protesting a lot against the Glazers at Old Trafford. You know, will the Old Trafford protests force the Glazers out of the club? Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that the Glazers apologised to him. He said that, you know, the violent incidents went too far on the 2nd of May, which was obviously earlier on this month. But he says the club needs to take notice of the fans, because obviously, you know, he understands the fans' frustration. Earlier on this season as well, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans, and earlier on this season, Avram Glazer refused to apologise over the European Super League. Sky News caught up with him in Florida, and he refused to answer any questions. Gary Neville's had a lot to say with his protesting and that against the Glazers. Solskjaer was actually angry with Gary Neville over the Man United protests. But earlier on this season, it said that the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. Before that, it said that the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the club. Joe Glazer released a statement earlier on this season apologising to club fans over the European Super League plans, because the Glazers were planning to ditch the Champions League for the European Super League. But Solskjaer said earlier on this season that the Glazer family will not sell Man United. And he told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. The Glazers bought Man United for $500 million back in 2005. You know, they've been at the club now 16 years. We get them out, it would definitely be the correct decision, because they've put us in so much debt of the Glazers, and in general, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. So we've got to get the Glazers out, and we've got to recommend new owners in. You obviously know the news regarding Ed Woodward. All United fans were happy with the news regarding Ed Woodward, because it got announced earlier on this season that he resigned as Manchester United Vice Chairman, and he will be standing down at the end of the year. You know, Ed Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. Who's going to be our new chairman to replace him? Obviously, we do play Wolves in the Premier League on Sunday. The preview will be coming up for that later on today. It's our final game this season in the Premier League. I'm expecting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to rotate heavily for the game against Wolves, because obviously the Europa League final is on Wednesday. Doesn't really matter what happens at Wolves, you know, we're guaranteed Champions League football for next season, and obviously we've secured second place. But we are winless in our last 3 league games. You know, recently drew 1-1 with Fulham, lost to Liverpool 4-2 and lost 2-1 to Leicester. But the Europa League is our priority now. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. This is Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager, and it's our 8th European final. We do play Villarreal in the final, like I've already mentioned, not world beaters, but they are no pushovers. You know, we win the Europa League, that gives us confidence, and that gives us something to build on going on into next season. Harry Maguire is a doubt for the final. He's obviously got ligament damage in his ankle. He sustained the ankle injury in our 3-1 win against Aston Villa. And Solskjaer recently said it doesn't look great with Harry Maguire. And defensively we are shambolic without him. So yeah, like I say, against Wolves he will rest some key players for the final. By the way, Fred and McTominay have picked up injuries recently. Don't know how severe they are. Obviously, I've got my reservations about the duo, but they are still 2 players that get in our team a lot. James, I think, still got an injury. You know, Martial's had a knee injury. Jones is still injured, but he doesn't get in our 11 anyway. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he's done a good job at Manchester United, you know, to say the squad he was left with, you know, when he got appointed in. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. Solskjaer is aware that next season's huge for him, because next season he's got to exceed expectations if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If things go wrong next season, then I think there's a very good chance he will be sacked. But he is our best manager since Ferguson. Obviously, a lot of Man United fans are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club, but there's also a lot of United fans that have heavily criticised Solskjaer, and obviously a lot have been demanding him out. They've obviously got their reasons behind it. He's not the long-term manager for Manchester United, but he does deserve at least 1 more season. He's been Manchester United manager now a good, 28, 29 months, so that's over 2 years. And this has been his 2nd full season at Man United. He hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. That doesn't mean he can't succeed though as Man United manager, and his decision making also concerns me. Before Solskjaer was with us, he managed Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. And don't forget, Ole managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. But whether Solskjaer succeeds or not, we'll still always adore him because he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. I think Ole's just got under a year left on his current 3-year contract. But earlier on this season, he said that Solskjaer agreed a new 3-year deal on the top of his current one. He said it's likely to be 2 years with an option of an extra year. And it's worth around £30 million. You know, we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. He got the job permanently back in March 2019, reflecting how well he did as the interim manager, you know, in that 3-month period. But yeah, there's actually a lot of positives regarding Ole. You know, he has made good signings as Man United manager so far. He's spent almost £300 million. You know, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. He's done well in a lot of aspects this season. You know, got us to the Europa League final. Got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. Got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. You know, he's got second place this season. That's a positive, but it's not an achievement. If we win the Europa League, that's an achievement. Got a very good away record in the Premier League. We are unbeaten in our last 25 Premier League away games, so we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year, which is very good. We've been absolutely terrible at home this season. All our defeats have come at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. I think a lot of it's been to do with no fans being there, but there was 10,000 fans recently against Fulham at Old Trafford. Hopefully all fans will be back next season, you know, the full capacity. Depends on how, you know, the corona goes. Solskjaer did well last season, his first full season as well, didn't he? You know, he got us third place last season, guided us to 3 semi-finals, and he did get us qualification for the Champions League. And I also like the way he has promoted the youth. And we've enjoyed very good periods under him, and I think he has brought consistency back. But when we are inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from him. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Solskjaer is inheriting players from other managerial eras. But like I've already said, he's got rid of a lot of players. And more players are going to go, like I've already mentioned, because there's still deadwood at the club. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.